Morning. Welcome back to Crafting a Country Life. I'm jumping on quickly this morning to share a collective haul. These are some items that I've not only gotten at the craft store, a few items here and there at the craft store, but some of these items came in the mail over the past several weeks. And I wanted to just jump on really quickly and share what I found. The first thing I wanted to share were these 6x6 paper pads that I found at Michael's craft store. Oh man, that might have been 2 or 3 weeks ago. I had received a gift card from my daughter for Michael's, so I went in that Sunday morning and looked around a little bit, and I found these 2 6-inch pads, and I have to be honest with you, that was actually the only thing that I found in there. Lately, I've been finding that Michael's doesn't have the selection of paper crafting supplies that they used to have. So, when I go in there, oftentimes I don't find what I'm looking for. But in this case, I did, and I was thrilled to find these. They coordinate really nicely together. This one is called Ditzy Florals, and all of the florals in here are pastel, which is nice. And they're very small, which is perfect for some of the smaller projects that I like to do. And also, like when you're doing ephemera making or card making, that sort of thing. But the colors are just so pretty. Here's the cool blues, purples, greens. There's a few solids mixed in. And the green and yellow and pink here with the flowers. Here's a pink and coral. Yeah, so these are really pretty. I love that. So that, and then of course the plaids coordinate nicely with them. They have a similar, the soft pastel colors. Also a few solids. That is such a pretty plaid with the pale blue and the purple. There's a mint, a couple solids, the green. That's a pretty solid green. I don't know if it really shows up on the camera, but it's like a more intense mint color. I just love that. And again, you can see how nicely they coordinate with the florals. So these will be really fun to play around with. There's a yellow and green, small plaid. I like that they're small scale too, which works out really nicely when you're working on smaller projects. Yeah, so that was from Michael's. Yesterday I was in Hobby Lobby, and I actually did find, I've been looking for ginghams. I found the pink that I had my eyes on open for a while. I'd hoped to find it in the smaller gingham check, but this is fine. It's probably a 3/8 inch wide square, so that's fine. And then I found some in the primitive colors, and I do have some already in my stash, but these browns I thought would be beautiful with gingerbread themed primitives at Christmas time. So I picked those up as well. So that was Hobby Lobby. And then Impression Obsession, I had placed an order quite a while back, maybe a couple of weeks ago, and it finally arrived. And these are the stamps that I got from them. This apron I thought would be really lovely for card making, and I haven't been doing as much card making over the years, but recently I've been doing a little bit more of it and realized that a lot of the stamps that I have in my collection from years ago, they're not great for coloring in. They're not really quite the right size, and they're more for decorative edgings and things like that. So, I've been trying to pick up a few here and there that are a little bit larger in size that you can actually do some coloring in on. And I thought this apron was really pretty. And this will be versatile. You could use this for lots of different holiday themes or domestic themes, that kind of thing. And then a couple more rubber stamps that have a sewing theme. And I've been kind of building my stash a little bit in that direction for paper crafting and mixed media. So to find this vintage button card, I thought this would be great. I mean, you could actually attach old buttons to it, or you could just use it in some embellishing. And here's the back of the stamp here. That's so pretty. Fancy trimming buttons, 10 cents. And then this one has sewing themed icons on it. Buttons, pin cushions, thread, a little handmade stamp, basket of flowers and thread spool. So this'll be lots of fun to use too. Okay, so that was Impression Obsession. And then my dear friend Chris sent this, or actually gifted this to me. I saw her a couple of weeks ago, and she had made this for me, and I can't tell you how thrilled I am to have something like this. Chris, if you're watching, nice to see you. Thank you so much. I love this. I've been using it next to my sewing machine. It's a little basket with a nice stiff rim around the edge that you can put your scraps in. And there's a weighted palette here that has a removable Velcro pin cushion on. Isn't this pretty? And all these beautiful little 1930s and 40s vintage reproduction quilting fabrics. I just absolutely love this. And I guess there's like a heavyweight tile inside here, a ceramic tile, I think is what she had told me, to weight this, and then you set this on your countertop near the sewing machine. And the back has a little bit of grippy, rubberized material on the back to hold it in place. So this goes right on here. Just absolutely love it. And here's the patchwork. She's a very accomplished quilt maker. So, of course, her work is just impeccable. So really pretty. So I'm happy that I was able to share that with you as well. Chris also gifted me these beautiful vintage hook and eye and snap cards, which will be great for some sewing themed paper crafting. British snaps. Here's one, Woolco. I don't know how many people, I'm going to be dating myself again here, but the Woolworths and the Woolcos that you used to find on Main Street. You could go inside these old, kind of a variety store from back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. And when I was a little girl, we had a Main Street in the town where I grew up in, and there was a Woolworths there. And I remember distinctly going in there with my father and my younger sister, and Dad bought us some paper dolls while we were in there. But it was always so fun to walk through the door, and the old narrow board floors would squeak as you'd walk up and down the aisles. And it had this really wonderful, kind of a musty, pleasant old building smell to it. It's bringing back a lot of memories for me. Anyway, here's a couple more. And then this needle book, Sewing Susan. Isn't this great? And here's the inside. I bet there's lots of you out there that probably remember having these in your house growing up as well. So a little needle threader and the assorted needles. Just love these. So much fun. So this was just a treasure to get and to have. Okay, so there's that. And then, let's see what else. Okay, these are from Joans. I picked up, I think, last week. A couple of packages. These were on sale, so I took advantage of that. These are the vintage snippets. One is called Snippets Ephemera Pack. The other is called Curator Ephemera Pack. And they're just very tiny little vintage bits that I intend to use when I'm making embellishments for some of my vintage sewing journals and other papercraft and mixed media projects. So that was nice to get. And then they had the Parklane, these Parklane buttons. These are adhesive buttons. And they were, I think they were 40 or 50% off. So I picked up a couple packages of those. And these will come in handy for doing rosettes and other things. And I have a lot of materials that have these colors in them that I can coordinate with. So it was good to find that. And then again, some more sewing themed stamps here. I'll see if I can hold this up a little bit closer. You can see the vintage, looks like a 1960s. It says lengthen or shorten here, little rubber stamp, and then pattern adjustment, and there's some text and some little bits. It's hard to see with the glare. Some little sewing instructions that go along with that. And then the vintage dress form. And then there's a stencil included in the kit. So it'll be fun to play around with these. This rubber stamp over here has some zigzag stitching on it. So that would make a nice border, I think, on some vintage sewing themed cards and tags and such. So I was glad to find that. Here's a better, you might be able to see the images a little easier. There, so that's what's included. Okay, so that was Joan's, a few things there. And then last month I ordered directly from the My Mind's Eye website. They were having a clearance sale, and I picked these materials up for next to nothing, honestly. There wasn't a lot of stuff that they had on clearance, but these few different things that I found were perfect. This one is called Merry and Bright. It's part of their collection, and I actually think I have this paper pad in my Christmas stash, so it was nice to find the accompanying ephemera bits and chipboards to go with it. And here you can see what's included. And you know, I think I paid $2 for this. Couldn't have been much more than that. And the same on this. They were incredibly deeply discounted. These are the ephemera bits that are included here. So perfect for Christmas crafting. So I picked those up. And again, only a couple of dollars each. This is the Wild Asparagus collection, which was on the shelves a number of years ago. And I always loved it. For some reason, never picked it up at the time, but these on the website, this is the paper and accessory kit. I got this for $2.50. And the shipping for these was very reasonable. So it was nice to find the Wild Asparagus selection of papers. And let me just show you. I picked up 2 of them because the price was just, you know, I couldn't leave them there for that. So what's included is this sheet of stickers here. These are, you know, flat adhesive stickers. And this sheet here as well. And the papers, I'll flip through these kind of quickly. With the mint, the coral, the green, the ochre. Love this collection. There's the back. You know, it has sort of a vintage look. The edges are somewhat distressed. There's a dot. And then the reverse has writing on it. So you could even clip these out and use them in ephemera, little bits of text. Here's a beautiful floral. And then the reverse is a kind of a teal dot. Here's a pink plaid. I am absolutely in love with this plaid. This looks very 1960s to me. This would be pretty in some sewing journals. Love that. Make a pretty tag too. Okay, and then this here, some more text. This is on a pale pink background with sort of a creamy white, you know, where the text is there. And then here's the reverse. So pretty. Love this. The stripe. We have a nice mix of prints and stripes, some small, some large. Here's a beautiful cream colored check. Love that. This would go nicely with some of the Maha designs or Maja designs. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. From Frantic Stamper. Coordinates nicely with some of those distressed vintage papers that they carry. And I absolutely love these little birds. They look like very much a 1930s kind of vibe to them. Isn't that pretty? Is it close up? In the back, it's a green sprig on a coral background. And then these lemons, my main squeeze. And then the ochre and green stripe on the back. So pretty. I love this collection. So I felt, you know, the price was good, and I know I'll get a lot of use out of this. This will coordinate with a lot of materials that I have in my stash as well. So that was My Mind's Eye. And then this package here, I finally placed an order with Red Lead Designs. Actually, I was watching Jill Norwood's channel a while back. Hi, Jill, if you happen to be tuning in. And she had ordered some items from Red Lead, and I'd had on the back of my mind for a number of months wanting to place an order with Red Lead. And so that was all I needed to see, was all the beautiful things that Jill had found there. So I went online and ordered a couple more things from them. I've ordered from them before, and their materials are very nice quality, and they always come shipped in the most beautiful packaging. You can see here the envelope was stamped with care with all kinds of beautiful vintage images. And then on the front, Here's some more images as well. Some of the products that they sell, stamps and so on. So let me show you what I got. Whoops. Okay, so the first item is a set of little 1950s little girls' dresses. Now, the set came with 3. However, they sent me a little note in the package and said they were out of the 3rd one, so they would send it soon. But these are the stamps, 2 of the 3 stamps in the set. Aren't they adorable? These would be fun for card making or little note tags, and you could have lots of fun coloring these in with watercolor paints or markers. So I'm looking forward to playing with that. And they come in a beautiful little gift box that's been stamped on the front. Just love that. The next item is a set of sewing themed rubber stamps. These are little tags. Let me just unwrap this. And they just come tied so beautifully with the seam binding. Isn't that pretty? We can save that. Well, here's the first item. Handmade, fashion notes, sewing girl, just for you, sewing tips, so lovely, she makes and she sews. And here's the rubber stamps here. These can just be cut apart with a craft knife and used to do some stamping. And then this lovely little girl, which there's a couple different varieties of these on the Red Light site. And I selected this one. I thought it would be fun to do some coloring in on the little flowers of her dress. Okay, and then this item here is vintage style paper pack. Okay, so I ordered this. I think it was $10. Yeah, there's 10 sheets of vintage sewing images that you can cut, paste, color, ink, paint, or stamp. So let me just show you what's included. Okay, and they come inside some cardstock to keep them protected. This is what I ordered. They have a number of different packs on their website. This is the one that I selected. So here are some great images for cutting out, coloring, using in ephemera. Some stitchery directions there. Some text, all based on sewing. So this is fun. This would make great backgrounds. Okay, and then sewing and finishing details. All kind of with a vintage, probably from an old sewing book or sewing manual. Okay, here's some more. I remember my mother sewing dresses like this for us when we were little girls. And when my daughter was small, I did the same thing. She's 25 now, but I sewed a lot of her clothing, and I couldn't bear to part with it. I still have it all packed away up in the attic. I even sewed matching doll dresses for her American Girl baby dolls. Oh my gosh, those years were really rather productive. With 3 kids running around the house, I don't know how I managed to find time to do all the crafting that I did. Anyway, here are some stitch and sew recipe corner recipes. Aren't these fun? They have little cross-stitched headings on them in a jiffy. Whip it up. So a few little recipes there. Pins and Needles Sewing Club. And I love this page of images. 1960s outfits. Aren't they great? And they're in different sizes, which is fun. For fashion-loving little girls. There's the Barbies at the bottom. The little Barbie dresses. My mother used to sew all of our Barbie doll dresses for us too, I guess, when we were very small. So maybe that's where I inherited all of that from. I don't know. How to alter a pattern. And some more images at the bottom there and some text and fancy stitches. So these are going to be lots of fun to use. I can't wait to have some time to spend in my studio playing around with these. Maybe over the weekend, we'll see. And they always include a nice little package of ephemera. Here's the envelope that came with my order. And inside, all kinds of little goodies. In the back, there's a page of colorful images. Let's open that up. You can cut these apart and use them. And right here, there's a little library pocket that has some tags clipped. Look at that, isn't that adorable? Some tags clipped onto the front, a couple, 3 tags, and a little circle embellishment here. Let yourself fly. And then inside the library tag, or the library pocket, there's another tag and ephemera, a couple tags and some ephemera. So again, those will be lots of fun to play around with as well. And that's was just included in the package as a gift. And a little bit more, some little images on these cardstocks here. These can all be used. You could cut these up or just leave them as they are and use them in your crafting. So really nice to get such beautifully packaged items. You know, it seems like people who do this sort of thing, when you order from them, that they really care about their business. And I always appreciate that the products that you receive are created with care and consideration for those of us who also enjoy doing this kind of thing. So I think that may be it for today. So that was quite a haul. Now I just have to find some time to sit down and play around with all these goodies. I hope you enjoyed watching, and we will see you back again very soon. Bye for now.